Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. And to those who are new, once again I will have to introduce it to you. My name is Hori Horangve, and this is a beautiful name. It's a rare, unique name. I used to not like it much before because it was kind of unique and no one has this similar name like mine, Hori Horangve, and is also uh, the name of our Catholic songbook, which is Hori Horangve. And it was kind of funny, so I didn't want to use much, but my family and whenever I go to villages and all, they used to call me that name only. But I have my baptism name, which is Monica Ningshen. But this time, since I recently started reading the Bible, came up with an idea to share what is in the Bible, even for those who have not read, or to even for the non-Christians. I am just reading the Bible, so that everyone will know what is exactly in the Bible and will have a little bit knowledge about the gospel that we firmly believe in, and we follow, things like that. So I'm using in this channel Hori Horangve, and this is the name means universe. So it's kind of perfect fit for the one that I am doing it, for the one that we believe in, that is God, Jesus. It's all being, right? All universe, everything. So I think it's I might not be deserving the name, but then the one that I am reading about deserves more. So I'm using it because of that. I don't know, my words sometimes are not so clear, but I'm sure you will understand what I'm trying to say. So today I am going to be reading Exodus 21 and 22. And to those who are new to my channel, I have already completed the book of Genesis, which is the beginning, the creation of God, how God created the heaven and earth. And if you are interested, then you can go back to my videos and review them. It's very nice. I'm not explaining anything what is on the Bible, but I am just reading it and it says it all, right? So I'm sure you will understand it. And to make it more exciting, I am adding few of my life stories and activities that I do. So in the hope of making my video more exciting and more lively and viewable, I should say. So you can review and check it on that. And today we'll go ahead with Exodus 20. This is the second book of the Bible. It's a very big book, but we will try to complete it, and I'm on for it. So the treatment of slaves. And after the reading, I am going to be sharing with you. In the previous lockdown, I was doing a lot of things. Trying to occupy myself, trying to explore myself by reading, writing, and painting, things like that. So that time I've already written, meditated myself, and I've written some things, maybe like a poem or like short notes, things like that. So there is one more about life that I'm going to be sharing it with you in the end of my reading in this video. So I hope you stay till the end and you listen to what I've written, and see how is it. So the treatment of slaves. Give the Israelites the following laws. If you buy a Hebrew slave, he shall serve you for 6 years. In the 7th year, he is to be set free without having to pay anything. If he was unmarried when he became your slave, he is not to take a wife with him when he leaves. But if he was married when he became your slave, he may take his wife with him. If his master gave him a wife and she bore him sons or daughters, the woman and her children belong to the master, and the man shall live by himself. But if the slave declares that he loves his master, his wife, and his children, and does not want to be set free, then his master shall take him to the place of worship. There he is to make him stand against the door or the doorpost and pierce his ear. Then he will be his slave for life. If a man sells his daughters as a slave, she is not to be set free, as male slaves are. If she is sold to someone who intends to make her his wife, but he does not like her, then she is to be sold back to her father. Her master cannot sell her to foreigners because he has treated her unfairly. If a man buys a female slave to give to his son, he is to treat her like a daughter. If a man takes a second wife, he must continue to give his first wife the same amount of food and clothing and the same rights that she had before. If he does not fulfill the duties to her, he must set her free and not receive any payment. Laws about violent acts. Whoever hits a man and kills him is to be put to death. But if it was an accident and he did not mean to kill the man, he can escape to a place where I will choose for you, and there he will be safe. But when a man gets angry and deliberately kills another man, he is to be put to death, even if he has run to my altar for safety. Whoever hits his father or his mother is to be put to death. Whoever kidnaps a man, either to sell him or to keep him as a slave, is to be put to death. Whoever curses his father or his mother is to be put to death. If there is a fight and one man hits another with a stone or with his fist, but does not kill him, he is not to be punished. If the man who was hit has to stay in bed, but later is able to get up and walk outside with the help of a stick, the man who hits him is to pay for his lost time and take care of him until he gets well. If a man takes a stick and beats his slaves, whether male or female, and the slave dies on the spot, the man is to be punished. But if the slave does not die for a day or two, the master is not to be punished. The loss of his property is punishment enough. If some men are fighting and hurt a pregnant woman so that she loses her child, but she is not injured in any other way, the one who hurts her is to be fined whatever amount the woman's husband demands, subject to the approval of the judges. But if the woman herself is injured, the punishment shall be life for life. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, bruises for bruises. If a man hits his male for female, slave in the eyes, so that he loses the use of it, he is to free the slave as payment for the eye. If he knocks out a tooth, he is to free the slave as payments for the tooth. The responsibility of owners. If a bull gores someone to death, it is to be stoned, and its flesh shall not be eaten. But its owner is not to be punished. But if the bull has been in the habit of attacking people, and its owner had been warned, but did not keep it pent up, then if it gores someone to death, it is to be stoned, and its owner is to be put to death also. However, if the owner is allowed to pay a fine to save his life, he must pay the full amount required. If the bull kills a boy or a girl, the same rule applies. If the bull kills a male or female slave, its owner shall pay the owner of the slave 30 pieces of silver, and the bull shall be stoned to death. If a man takes the cover of a pit, or if he digs one and does not cover it, and a bull or a donkey falls into it, he must pay for the animal. He is to pay the money to the owner and may keep the dead animal. If one man's bull kills another man's bull, the two men shall sell the live bull and divide the money. They shall also divide up the meat from the dead animal. But if it was known that the bull had been in the habit of attacking, and its owner did not keep it pent up, he must make good the loss by giving the other man a live bull, but he may keep the dead animal. Laws about repayment. If a man steals a cow or a sheep and kills it or sells it, he must pay 5 cows for 1 cow and 4 sheep for 1 sheep. He must pay for what he stole. If he owns nothing, he shall be sold as a slave to pay for what he has stolen. If the stolen animal, whether a cow, a donkey, or a sheep, is found alive in his possession, he shall pay 2 for 1. If a thief is caught breaking into a house at night and is killed, the one who killed him is not guilty of murder, but if it happens during the day, he is guilty of murder. If a man lets his animal graze in a field or a vineyard, and they strays away and eat up the crops growing in another man's field, he must make good the loss with the crops from his own fields or vineyard. If a man starts a fire in his field and it spreads throughout the weeds to another man's field and burns up corn that is growing or that has been cut and staked, the one who started the fire is to pay for the damage. If a man agrees to keep another man's money or other valuable for him, and they are stolen from his house, the thief, if he is found, shall repay double. If the thief is not found, the man who is keeping the valuables is to be brought to the place of worship, and there he must take an oath that he has not stolen the other man's property. In every case of a dispute among property, whether it involves cattle, property, whether it involves cattle, donkey, sheep, clothing, or any other lost object, the true man claiming the property shall be taken to the place of worship. The one whom God declares to be guilty shall pay double to the other man. If a man agrees to keep another man's donkey, cow, sheep, or other animals for him, and the animal dies or is injured or is carried off in a raid, and if there was no witness, the man must go to the place of worship and take an oath that he has not stolen the other man's animal. If the animal was not stolen, the owner shall accept the loss, and the other man need not repay him. But if the animal was stolen, the man must repay the owner. If it was killed by wild animal, the man is to bring the remain of evidence. He need not pay for what had been killed by wild animals. If a man borrows an animal from another man and it is injured or dies when its owner is not present, the man must pay for it. But if that happens when the owner is present, the man need not repay. If it is a hired animal, the loss is covered by the hired charges. Moral and religious laws. See, while reading this, I just thinking God is a very wise man, because see, God is not trying to make us live like a divine person, because he knows that man cannot. So he had made like certain rules and laws about which is good, which is bad, and how it should be done, things like that. So I should say that our God that we believe in, he is a very wise God. Right. See, yeah, and then about being wise, I just remember the story of Solomon when asked by God what he wants in life, that God was ready to give him anything, wealth or anything. He asked for wisdom. So I think he is also one of the unique man, a unique person who has ever lived, who has asked for this wisdom, right? Because in wisdom only everything comes, how to live life and what to decide and things like that. So it's quite nice. I don't know where it came from, but yeah, well, just reading here how God was setting laws, and God is being very rational and thinking for people. See, God is a divine person, okay, and we used to oftentimes think that we have to be perfect in order to gain a place in heaven. But God is a God who forgives a sinner, and he has made a certain rules and regulation and laws which which is kind of easy, I should say, to earn a place in heaven. So if we just reflect and see which are good and which are bad things, we are kind of like very fortunate, I should say, because we can still hope to be in heaven. Because I don't know how to say. We'll continue with this. Moral and religious laws. If a man seduce a virgin who is not engaged, he must pay the bride price for her and marry her. But if her father refuses to let him marry her, he must pay the father a sum of money equal to the bride price for a virgin. Put to death any woman who practices magic. Put to death any man who has sexual relation with an animal. Condemn to death anyone who offers sacrifices to any god except to me, the Lord. Do not ill-treat or oppress a foreigner. Remember that you were foreigners in Egypt. Do not ill-treat any widow or orphan. If you do, I, the Lord, will answer them when they cry out to me for help, and I will be angry and kill you in war. Your wives will become widows, and your children will be fatherless. If you lend money to any of my people who are poor, do not act like a moneylender and require him to pay interest. If you take someone's cloak as a pledge that he will pay you, you must give it back to him before the sun sets, because it is the only covering he has to keep him warm. What else can he sleep in when he cries out for me for help? I will answer him because I am merciful. Do not speak evil of God, and do not curse a leader of your people. Give me the offerings from your corn, your wine, and your olive oil when they are due. Give me your firstborn sons. Give me the firstborn of your cattle and your sheep. Let the firstborn male stay with its mother for 7 days, and on the 7th day offer it to me. You are my people, so you must not eat the meat of any animal that has been killed by wild animals. Instead, give it to the dogs. So this will all be for today. So I feel like God, in order to be a good person, it is very, we think that it's kind of hard to live a righteous man, to live as a righteous human being, or to live a good life. But it is, in fact, it is quite easy, because see, God has been giving us a law, and it is quite rational, and it's quite practicable, right? We can always follow that laws and keep on the line that he had kept us. And like I said, I'm going to be sharing you about what I've written. So I don't know whether this is poem or, because I don't know, whatever just came to mind in the previous lockdown, I just wrote it. Maybe I'm just reflecting on my life, or maybe I'm just writing on what's going on about the life, or maybe about reflecting on religion or God, things like that. I don't know. You can just take it whatever you think it is. So I've written like this: life, like the cactus that grows against the odd climate, survived the odd geographical zone, beating the unusual, unwanted, deserted climate. I have survived at different parts where you haven't seen. Consider me no less, but I got no pearl or frankincense to offer. You can only hope for a crown of thorn. I bear no harm towards thee, as I have warned myself a million times. You owe me no promise, if that's what stops you, 'cause promises are mere words spoken by man, made of dust. I put no firm desire or determination in thee, nor do I expect less. Man is just a dust, and we return to dust in the end. The world we hold dear is meant to fade, and we can do nothing about it. It is just a highway road. You choose where you want to be led. So this is a thing that I've brought, and see, I'm just reflecting and thinking that this is kind of also a thing that God is telling us. Like, He's not asking us too much of, He's not asking too much, but He just wants us to live the right way and to things like He was just telling like God, Jesus might be telling us in that way as well, right? So we are the master of our own life, and we are being we go, or where we want to be led, right? So let us be wise enough and ask God for wisdom and make us decide which way is the right way, and let us lead ourselves in the right path, in the right way, to the right direction, so that we will finally be able to reach our destination where we want to be. So this goes same with the present life. So if we want to be successful, and if we want to have a happy life in the future, we tend to attract what we think and what we want to be, right? So let's start thinking in a positive and more positive way, so that it will lead us to a positive and stable future. I think that's, I don't know how to say it, but I think that's all that I wanted to say today. And thank you so much for staying till the end, and to those who are new, thank you for visiting and welcome to my channel. And I'm still in the second book only. You can join me by subscribing, and you can follow up with my reading. You can hit on the notification bell so that you will be updated every day when I upload new videos for you. And like I said, I will make the video more interesting as much as I can, and I will keep the reading of the Bible, the gospel, much livelier, and try to spread it to as many as I can. So thank you so much. I hope you will help me in that, and you take care till that. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay blessed. Bye bye.